wanted to ask about Elle. I know you're training her for her upcoming fight. How do you think she will perform? What do you think about FAC as a promotion as a whole?
Yeah, Elle, she's a savage, man. Her nickname's the Ruthless Elle Wagman, and it very much fits her. Her ability to. This is an underrated thing about Elle is like her ability to kind of switch in between styles. Like her style initially when she came to the gym was like this brute, like short, stocky wrestler who would just be up in your face, take you down, take your back, and choke you out. And she has that still, but she had a fight with this girl named Caitlin Radka, where, in my opinion, it was one of her best performances, and she picked her apart. And her style was completely opposite from what she'd shown in previous fights of being a brute and just walking people down. Ended up taking them down off the fence and then taking their back. She showed something completely different. She was a sniper. Her ability to change between styles, between like a sniping, flowy, chop the legs, chop the head, and being a brute is hard to come by. Like you don't see that very often. And I think she's finally coming into her own, where she has that in her back pocket, and she adapts her fighting style when she's fighting, like dependent on the opponent. So she's really good, man. She's really, really good, and I think the UFC's gonna have a 105 division one day, and she'll be a part of it.
That's a quality stare down, Anthony.
I don't think this girl's necessarily gonna archer and guard and run away like she's doing, but I'm chasing her too much.
Wagman trying to methodically cut off the cage, extending the jab, throws the right. Just misses with the right cross to Wagman.
I was being patient though. She's not looking. She's not overstaying. She's not chasing. She's just trying to cut her off.
It's times like these that I hate owning dogs.
Lateral movement continues from Amanda Borg.
Okay,
Feint on the jump knee, counter right hand by Borg. Counter right back from Wagman. There's the kick caught. Wagman now single-mindedly thinking takedown, and she hits it with the outside trip off of the
The
cage.
decent one's easy there.
Close guard for Borg.
I think we'll have a lot of success on the cage
Take a guard really quickly.
as well with this girl.
Open it right away. She's gonna feel the hips. She's gonna look to push off.
Is this fine?
She wants to be successful.
Interjecting.
That's
exactly what we need.
This is what you were talking about, right? With the where I need to get my hands on the inside of the guard. Okay.
She did. Now working from top position, standing, trying to posture it. Looking for the armbar.
I just need to stack, stay stacked. I'm doing fine here, but I let her roll over. There was not a lot of danger here with this armbar. At no point did it feel tight. And I definitely let myself get lazy.
Going right back to the armbar again. Wagman trying to steal back the arm.
It was not deep.
Zach Tiber's taking a close look at the
No
position.
point was I in any amount of pain
On the back of her neck as she can.
or danger.
Start to work her elbow until it gets just past Amanda Borg's groin, just like that.
And stealing back her arm, there is Elle Wagman. Kept her composure, kept her posture.
Oh yeah, I forgot that happened.
Illegal up kick by Borg.
She kicked me in the face while I was down, and I honestly didn't feel it at all. And the ref stopped it to warn her, and I was like, "Why are you stopping?" I got really upset.
Warned by Zach Tiber's, back we go. Good bit of referee.
And I watched it back. I was like, "Oh, that did happen."
Getting a little deeper now, and that's under the chin. Just one hand fully sunk. Borg with the right hand, trying to attack the elbow. There's the tap, and there's the win for Elle Wagman and a pro MMA debut.
Me screaming at Grant.
A lot of patience
With this girl, fought me differently than I think LaGrasse will fight me. This girl did a really good job of just using this high guard to kind of shuffle away. I wasn't able to really do anything offensively at the beginning of the fight because of it. So I don't believe that's how this fight is really going to look there at the beginning. I expect this girl to come forward. So I don't think we will have the same issues with cutting off the cage, but that is something we've been working on. Our cage wrestling at Glory is better than anywhere else. Even watching fights at the high level, we were talking about this yesterday, watching fights at the high level, people just don't, like, they'll get on the cage, they don't reap, they aren't moving through it, they're just hugging people on the cage, trying to land little knees and little pot shots, you know, but we actually have a great system on the cage, so I think that that's a place we will excel, just like in this fight. So I think that I'll have a lot of opportunities to work from there. As for if you're not addressing your past performances and looking at the holes and looking at ways to fix it, then you're not going to see improvements if you're not addressing the mistakes you made even in your wins. Making my pro debut was not as different as I thought it would be. Getting out of the cage and having a check handed to me was pretty dope. But other than that, making the walk itself, like, I was really excited, but it was just another day, you know, just another day at work, just another fight. It didn't feel as different as I thought it would to get to walk out there as a professional. We've been training as a pro for the last 3 years. Like, I'm not training to be a good amateur in the gym, I'm training to be a great pro. Training to be the best professional fighter that I can possibly be. So nothing changed through this camp versus other camps. We just got out there and did what we do. As a competitor in the sport, outside of the gym, it can be hard to find fights. There are just less women in the sport. There are also specifically less women in my weight class in the sport. Well, right now, the UFC needs to add my weight class before we even look at that. But I actually think it's easier. It's much easier for women to get to that high level than it is for men. There are 150 guys like Grant across the world who are really good. There's only one Grant Johnson, but there are a bunch of 155-pound men all across the world, you know, who can compete at that level. And with women, it's a newer sport. There's less of us, and the level is not as high yet because it's newer for females. Women have been fighting in the UFC for barely a decade, so it's definitely an easier route as a woman to get to a high level and to make a really good paycheck as well, which is really cool. I think this is probably one of the only sports in the world where a lot of female athletes actually make more than men. Right now, I'm just focused on taking fights, winning fights, getting finishes, and getting better. We'll see what the future holds in, you know, the next year or so. I would like to be looking at a major promotion by the end of the year, whether that be Bellator, 1FC, Invicta, wherever my weight class is right now. It's going to be some time before the UFC adds 105, but I definitely think it's a possibility in the future. The goal is to be world champion. The goal is to be the absolute best in the world. I have to be realistic. With my frame and my size, I am probably not going to go out there and beat Weili Zhang. Some of those girls are cutting from over 130, 135 pounds to make 115. They're significantly bigger than I am, significantly stronger than I am, and I have to be realistic for where I can make that dream a reality. And it depends what that means. You know, world champion may not mean the UFC if there is no weight class for me there. It may mean 1FC, it may mean Invicta, it may mean Bellator. Wherever my opportunities are, we're gonna take them.